Have you ever wondered why some people seem to age with strength and energy, while others feel stuck, slowed down, and tired way before they should? Maybe you've noticed it yourself. Getting out of bed feels harder, a short walk leaves you winded, or you're hesitating before climbing the stairs. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone, and here's the kicker. It doesn't have to be that way. Take Susan, 68, who thought her slowing legs and constant fatigue were just part of getting older, until she discovered they weren't. Today, I'm sharing 5 simple, powerful practices that can turn back the clock on how you feel, move, and live. Practices so easy you can start them right now. But here's why you need to stick with me until the end. These aren't just tips, they're life changers. You'll meet Susan and see how she went from dreading her days to loving her independence again. You'll uncover the hidden reasons behind your stiffness and exhaustion, things you've probably overlooked. And by the last 2 game-changing secrets, you'll have a clear, no-excuses plan to wake up stronger, move better, and feel in control, no matter your age. Don't miss this. It's not just about adding years to your life, it's about adding life to your years. Let's dive in. If you are not subscribed, I recommend subscribing and activating the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support means a lot to me, and if you enjoyed this video, you can help me continue spreading the valuable lessons by liking and sharing it. If you like the topic of this video, please comment 1. If you don't, please comment 0 to let me know how I can improve and make better videos for you. Now, let's begin. 1. Understand what's happening to your body. Aging is not a sentence to slow down, become stiff, or feel weak. Yes, our bodies change with time, there's no escaping that, but it doesn't mean we should accept it as the end of our vitality. The truth is far more empowering than we often believe. Feeling sluggish or stiff is not simply a natural consequence of age, but a direct result of neglecting our bodies through inactivity. The more we shy away from moving, the more we let our bodies deteriorate. But here's the revelation. When you actively take control of how you move, your body responds in remarkable ways, no matter your age. Think about Susan for a moment. She was someone who let the years of inactivity slowly steal her strength. The less she moved, the harder it became to do even simple things, like getting out of bed or walking across the room. Her muscles weakened, and her joints stiffened, making her feel far older than she was. She was trapped in a vicious cycle that made every movement feel like an insurmountable task. But then, a light bulb went off for her. She realized she didn't have to live like this. She decided to break the pattern. And in doing so, she unlocked a whole new version of herself. Your body is designed for motion. The more you move, the better it works. When you stop moving, everything gets harder. The muscles weaken, joints stiffen, and energy levels plummet. Think of your body like a car that's left sitting idle in the driveway. The engine won't start without some effort, the tires lose their air, and before you know it, the battery is dead. That's what happens when you don't move. But the beautiful thing is, once you begin moving again, your body comes alive, just like that car when it's driven. Movement is the fuel your body craves. Don't think that because you feel stiff, it's a hopeless case. It's not. The more you move, the easier it becomes. Every little step counts. If you find long walks too overwhelming, begin with a simple walk around your home. Stretch when you wake up before you even step out of bed. Try stepping up and down on a single stair. Those might seem like small actions, but trust me, they matter more than you realize. Slowly, day by day, you'll feel the difference. Susan started with just 5 minutes of walking a day. In no time, she noticed her legs getting stronger, her balance improving, and most importantly, her self-confidence skyrocketing. There is never an age where it's too late to regain strength and flexibility. Your body is resilient. It will respond to your efforts, no matter how small they may seem at first. But if you want to keep your independence, if you want to move with ease, movement isn't optional. It's essential. 2. Stop accepting fatigue as normal. Fatigue. It's one of the most common struggles many of us face as we age, but let me tell you this, it's not a given. Aging does not automatically mean you have to feel tired all the time. Yet, many of us resign ourselves to the idea that constant exhaustion is just part of getting older. Susan felt it too. Every morning, she woke up already drained, and by the afternoon, all she wanted was to collapse in a chair. She thought this was normal. But here's what she didn't realize. Fatigue isn't a sign of aging. It's a sign that something's not right in your daily habits. Are you hydrated? Are you moving enough? Are you getting enough sleep? These are crucial questions, and yet we often overlook them, attributing our exhaustion to age rather than our lifestyle. Dehydration can sap your energy in ways you don't even realize. You might think you're just tired, but it could be that your body is crying out for water. And poor sleep quality? That's another silent energy thief. When your sleep isn't restorative, your mind and body pay the price, leaving you sluggish and unmotivated. But here's the most surprising truth. If you're not moving, your body becomes more tired, not less. Movement, even small movements, actually boosts your energy levels. I know it seems counterintuitive, but that's the beauty of it. When Susan finally started paying attention to her hydration, sleep, and movement, she experienced a transformation that she never expected. The fatigue that had ruled her life for so long began to dissipate. She woke up feeling refreshed, ready to take on the day. Her energy wasn't tied to her age anymore. It was tied to her habits. If you're constantly feeling worn out, don't just accept it. It's not about being old, it's about how you treat your body. Start with simple steps. Drink more water, prioritize sleep, and get your body moving. The difference won't just be physical, it will be emotional too. You'll feel more alive, more connected to the world around you. Energy is within your reach, and it's yours for the taking. You don't have to live tired. 3. Your mindset matters more than you think. When it comes to aging with strength and vitality, the single most important factor isn't physical, it's mental. How you perceive the passage of time and the limitations that come with it will shape your experience of life as you grow older. You see, the mind is incredibly powerful. It can create the life you want or trap you in a narrative of limitation. And if there's one thing that truly separates those who age gracefully from those who struggle, it's their mindset. The way you think about your aging will have an immeasurable impact on how you live through it. Take Susan, for example. She had spent years believing that aging meant slowing down, that it was too late to make changes, too late to push her body to new limits. She convinced herself that she was too old to start new things, too old to take care of herself the way she once did. But when she made the conscious decision to challenge these beliefs, everything shifted. The moment she stopped seeing age as an obstacle, she began to see it as an opportunity, a chance to reclaim her vitality and embrace a new chapter of self-care. When Susan took that first step of belief, her body responded in kind. Here's the truth I want to share with you. If you believe you're too old to improve, then you'll prove yourself right. Your thoughts will dictate your reality. But if you choose to believe that you are more than capable of change, you will also prove yourself right. And trust me, that power is in your hands. You are never too old to regain your strength, to feel better, to wake up with more energy, or to make a positive change in your life. The choice truly is yours. Your age doesn't have to define you. It's just a number, a marker of the years lived. What matters most is your mindset. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. So here's my challenge to you. Start today. Take one small step, no matter how minor it may seem. Maybe it's drinking more water, stretching for just a few minutes in the morning, or simply standing up more often throughout the day. These small actions are investments in your future self, and trust me, your future self will thank you. The way you show up for yourself today will determine how you show up tomorrow. And remember, this is only the beginning. There's so much more to explore. In the next section, I'm going to share something that most people overlook, but that plays a pivotal role in maintaining your strength and independence as you age. It's something that might not even cross your mind, but once you understand it, you'll see just how vital it is for your health. Stick with me, because you won't want to miss this. Susan's journey was just beginning. She made a promise to herself that age would not hold her back. She started by making simple changes, walking a little more, drinking more water, prioritizing sleep. And, to her surprise, she began to feel better. She wasn't in perfect health yet, but she noticed improvements. Still, there were mornings when she woke up feeling groggy, her legs a bit heavier than they should have been, and that familiar afternoon fatigue would creep in. It was frustrating. She was doing everything right, following all the advice about healthy aging, and yet, her energy wasn't as high as she expected. What was missing? That's when Susan discovered one of the most overlooked aspects of aging well: sleep. You see, most of us don't realize just how deeply sleep affects everything, from our energy levels to memory, and even to our mobility. Sleep isn't just about lying down and resting. It's about deep, restorative healing. Every night, while we sleep, our bodies go through a repair process that strengthens our muscles, restores our energy, and sharpens our minds. But if your sleep is poor or interrupted, this entire process is disrupted, leaving you feeling drained, foggy, and physically sluggish. Does this sound familiar to you? Waking up in the middle of the night, tossing and turning, or still feeling tired even after a full night's sleep? It's easy to blame age for these disruptions, but I'm here to tell you that you have more control over your sleep than you think. It's not just part of getting older, it's something you can actively improve. When Susan started looking into her sleep habits, she realized how badly she'd been neglecting this essential part of her health. She wasn't just getting older, she was running on empty because she wasn't allowing her body the chance to fully recover at night. Susan discovered that simply by prioritizing sleep, she could reset her energy levels and feel more refreshed. It was transformative. She didn't have to be at the mercy of poor sleep anymore. Here's what Susan did to turn things around, and you can do it too. First, she set a consistent sleep schedule. She went to bed and woke up at the same time every day, even on weekends. It seems like such a small thing, but your body thrives on routine, and this simple change helped her body reset its internal clock. Second, Susan created a soothing wind-down routine. She turned off all electronics an hour before bed, dimmed the lights, and even indulged in a warm bath to help her body relax. And finally, she transformed her bedroom into a sanctuary for sleep. No screens, no bright lights. Just a peaceful, quiet space where rest could be the priority. Within a week, she woke up feeling refreshed rather than drained. Her mind felt clearer, her body stronger, and the energy she gained from restful sleep was unlike anything she'd experienced in years. This is your reminder. You deserve deep, restorative sleep. Don't let poor sleep steal your vitality. Try these simple changes, and watch as your energy shifts. But Susan's journey didn't stop there. She knew that something even more insidious was lurking in her daily routine, something most of us don't even think about. If I asked you how much time you spend sitting each day, what would you say? A few hours? Maybe 5? Now, think about it again and double that amount. Sitting has become an unavoidable part of modern life. Whether it's during meals, watching TV, scrolling on your phone, or just relaxing, we're sitting more than ever before. Susan was no different. She believed she was staying active enough. After all, she walked around the house, took a few short walks here and there. But when she started tracking how much time she was sitting each day, the results were startling. She spent more than 8 hours a day sitting. And that's not even considering how many of those hours were spent sitting in a slouched or uncomfortable position. Here's the truth. The longer you sit, the harder it becomes to get back up. Think about it. Sitting for long periods leads to slowed circulation, weakened muscles, and decreased flexibility. Over time, these effects compound, making even simple movements, like getting up from a chair or climbing stairs, feel more difficult. Susan knew this wasn't the path she wanted to follow, and I know you don't want to experience it either. So, here's what she did, and what you can start doing today. First, stand up every hour. Set a reminder on your phone or watch if you have to. Even just standing for a minute, stretching your arms, and moving around makes a massive difference. Second, walk while doing everyday tasks. Susan started marching in place while brushing her teeth, pacing while on the phone, and stretching during TV time. Lastly, move a part of your daily life, not a forced chore. Simple changes like parking farther away from the store, taking the stairs, or dancing to your favorite song in the kitchen all contribute to keeping your body moving. Within weeks, Susan felt lighter, her legs felt stronger, and most importantly, she didn't feel like a prisoner to her own body anymore. Movement is the key to independence as you age. The longer you stay still, the harder it gets to move. So, take action now. Move a habit, not a burden. Your future self will thank you. But even though Susan was doing all the right things, sleeping better, moving more, there was still one final piece of the puzzle that she hadn't realized was affecting everything from her bones to her mood. And in the next section, I'll reveal the one simple, free thing that can transform your health almost instantly. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. For the one thing you're probably missing every day. Susan was on a roll. After years of feeling like life was slipping away from her, she had found a new rhythm. She was moving more, sitting less, and, perhaps the most beautiful part, she was sleeping better than she had in years. It was like a fog had lifted, and her energy, which had been so elusive for so long, was slowly returning. Her body felt stronger, lighter, and she could finally look at herself and think, "I've got this." She had control over her aging process, something that had seemed so distant not too long ago. And yet, as she basked in her newfound vitality, something unexpected happened. One afternoon, while sitting on her porch and letting the warm breeze touch her skin, a quiet realization crept up on her. Despite all her improvements, she still felt a little off. There were days when her joints felt tighter than they should, her mood dipped for no apparent reason, and a sense of fatigue would wash over her, leaving her wondering what was missing. That's when her doctor asked her a question so simple, it almost felt like an epiphany. "How often do you go outside?" Susan paused, her mind spinning with the answer. Sure, she had taken to walking now and then, but most of her days were spent indoors, reading, watching TV, or tidying up the house. She never once thought that spending so much time inside could be making her feel worse. What she learned next shocked her to her core. Of course, she knew that sunlight helped the body produce vitamin D, but she had no idea just how essential that sunlight was, especially as we age. Vitamin D is so much more than just a nice-to-have nutrient. It plays a huge role in keeping bones strong, muscles flexible, and joints pain-free. Without enough of it, bones begin to weaken, falls become more common, and movement itself starts to feel stiff and laborious. And here's the kicker, our ability to naturally produce vitamin D decreases as we get older. So, if you're not spending enough time outdoors soaking up the sun, you're missing out on one of the most powerful and, frankly, free health boosters available to you. Susan had spent years assuming her joint pain and fatigue were just part of growing older. What else could she expect, right? But this revelation made her wonder, what if it wasn't just aging? Determined to make a change, Susan decided to give it a try. Every morning, without fail, she spent just 10 minutes outside. No complicated routine, no pressure, just a simple act of stepping outside and letting the sunlight kiss her skin. Within weeks, she felt the difference. Her mood was lighter, her joints felt less stiff, and, best of all, her sleep improved dramatically. The most mind-blowing part? Science backs this up. Studies have shown that regular sunlight exposure improves not just sleep and mood, but also immune function, brain health, and overall well-being. So let me ask you, how much time do you spend outdoors each day? If your answer is not much, it's time to rethink your routine and make a small change for the better. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 2 below to let me know that you are still here with me. The best part is that it doesn't have to be anything drastic. Here's how you can start feeling the benefits today. Aim for just 10 to 15 minutes of sunlight per day. Morning sun is particularly powerful because it helps regulate your sleep cycle, but any time of day is better than none at all. Second, integrate it into your daily routine. Drink your morning coffee outside, take a short walk after lunch, or sit by a window where the sunlight can reach you. Third, and perhaps most importantly, protect your skin. Wear sunscreen if you plan on staying out longer, but don't shy away from the sun. It's what your body needs to thrive. Susan couldn't believe how much of a difference such a simple habit made. She was finally starting to feel like herself again. Stronger, happier, and more energetic. And yet, she knew she wasn't done yet. While sunlight was crucial to her well-being, she understood there was one more thing she had to do to ensure that she stayed strong, independent, and fully engaged with life. 5. The simple habit that keeps you on your feet. One morning, as Susan bent down to tie her shoes, she felt it. That subtle but all too familiar ache in her knees. It wasn't severe, but it was a wake-up call. Her legs, the foundation of her mobility, were weakening. Even after all the progress she'd made in other areas, she hadn't done much specifically to strengthen her legs. And she knew that if she didn't act now, the consequences could be significant. Difficulty standing, unsteady balance, and worst of all, an increased risk of falling. She had seen it happen too many times with her friends. A simple fall, a fractured hip, and suddenly, their entire world changed. Susan wasn't going to let that be her story. She wasn't about to fall into the trap of letting her body slow her down. So, she made a promise to herself. She would commit to strengthening her legs, one step at a time. The truth is, your legs are your lifeline to independence. They are the muscles that support everything else you do. Once they weaken, even the simplest tasks, standing up, walking, climbing stairs, become challenges. But here's the good news. It doesn't take much to keep them strong. You don't have to sign up for an expensive gym or spend hours doing complicated exercises. Just a few minutes of focused effort every day can make all the difference. Susan didn't jump into a grueling fitness regimen. Instead, she started with small, manageable leg exercises every day. Within weeks, she felt stronger. Getting out of a chair became easier. She could walk longer distances without pain. Climbing stairs felt effortless. And if she could do it, so can you. Here are 3 simple exercises to strengthen your legs, which you can start right now. First, chair squats. Sit in a chair, and then stand up without using your hands. Repeat 5 to 10 times to wake up those leg muscles. Second, leg lifts. While sitting, extend one leg straight out, hold it for a few seconds, and then lower it. Repeat on the other leg. This targets your thighs, which are crucial for balance. Third, heel raises. Stand next to a sturdy surface, rise onto your toes, and slowly lower back down. This strengthens your calves, promotes circulation, and helps prevent swelling. The key isn't doing a lot, it's doing something consistently. Susan started with just a few minutes a day, and now she moves with confidence, knowing that her legs can carry her wherever she wants to go. Because losing mobility isn't just about not being able to walk, it's about losing your freedom. And Susan wasn't willing to let that happen. Her journey wasn't about making big, drastic changes all at once. It was about those small, consistent actions that, over time, made a massive difference. And now, she was almost there. Just one final practice stood between her and the complete physical and emotional freedom she craved. In the next section, I'll reveal that practice, one that will not only keep her body strong but also provide her with a sense of peace, clarity, and balance. Trust me, you won't want to miss this next part. It might just change everything for you. 6. The practice that transforms your body and mind. Susan had come so far, farther than she ever thought she could. She was moving more, sitting less, sleeping better than she had in years, basking in the sun's healing rays, and slowly but surely, she was strengthening her legs. She was no longer the same person who woke up each morning with aches and pains. She could feel the transformation in her body. Her muscles, once weak and stiff, were now growing stronger, and she felt alive in a way she hadn't in decades. But there was still one thing missing, one thing that lingered like an uninvited guest in the back of her mind. Despite the physical progress, there were still moments when she would feel a deep tension in her muscles. A stiffness that wouldn't go away no matter how hard she stretched or how much she tried to move. It wasn't always there, but it made her feel as though her body was still holding on to something. Something unseen, some unresolved tension. There were mornings when she would wake up, and it felt as though her joints didn't want to move at all. Every step felt like a challenge. The simple act of getting out of bed became a battle with her own body. And those mental struggles, the worries that came with aging, well, they were unavoidable. What if she had a bad fall? What if she lost her independence? What if all the progress she had worked so hard for began to slip away, leaving her powerless and weak? These thoughts gnawed at her every day, sitting in the back of her mind like a shadow that wouldn't go away, no matter how many times she told herself she was fine. The fear of the unknown, of the inevitable, crept into her every thought. She knew, deep down, that she needed something more. Something that would not only help her body but also ease the chaos in her mind. That's when she stumbled upon yoga and Tai Chi. At first, Susan was skeptical. She thought these practices were reserved for younger, more flexible people, not someone in her 60s. She couldn't imagine her stiff body flowing with ease through those slow, graceful movements. But something inside her urged her to try, to push past the skepticism and just give it a chance. And so, she did. What happened next was nothing short of extraordinary. Within just 1 week of practicing yoga and Tai Chi, Susan felt something shift. She couldn't put it into words at first, but it was real. Her body felt looser, more balanced, more at peace. The stiffness that had plagued her began to melt away. Her mind, once clouded with worry, became clearer, calmer, and more focused. She no longer felt like she was simply going through the motions of life. She was living. And the best part? She didn't have to go anywhere. She could practice right in the comfort of her living room, in her own space, on her terms. If you've ever felt stiff, tense, or unsteady on your feet, if you've ever struggled to feel like yourself, this practice might be the missing piece for you, too. It's not just a physical transformation. It's a mental and emotional one, too. 7. The secret to staying mobile for life. As we age, one of the most heartbreaking losses many of us face is the loss of our independence. And so often, that loss begins with something as seemingly small as losing our balance. It doesn't happen all at once. At first, you notice that you're not quite as steady as you used to be. You start to hesitate before stepping off a curb or reaching for something on a high shelf. You avoid certain movements because they make you feel off balance. That once carefree walk across the yard now seems like a risky venture. Your body feels fragile, like it could give out at any moment. And then, the inevitable happens. A fall. For so many older adults, a fall isn't just a physical injury, it's a life-altering event. The recovery can be long and painful. Sometimes it means weeks, or even months, in the hospital. It can mean the loss of mobility, the loss of independence. Susan had seen it happen to so many of her friends, and she refused to let it happen to her. That's when she discovered the true power of yoga and Tai Chi. Both practices are scientifically proven to improve balance and coordination. They work on strengthening the core, enhancing flexibility, and increasing mental focus, all of which are essential for maintaining balance. Once Susan understood that, she knew she had to give it a try. She started small. Just 5 minutes a day. She didn't rush. She took it slow, learning simple moves that stretched her muscles and activated her core, focusing on breathing deeply, feeling every stretch, every movement. She practiced slow, mindful movements, ones that allowed her to be fully present in her body. And within weeks, something incredible happened. The fear of falling, which had once gripped her every step, began to fade. She no longer hesitated before stepping onto uneven sidewalks. She didn't second-guess her ability to navigate through the world. She felt strong. She felt steady. Most importantly, she trusted her body again. The fear had been replaced with confidence, and she knew she was on the right path. If you want to stay steady, strong, and independent for as long as possible, this practice is your answer. You don't need to be flexible. You don't need to be an athlete. You just need to start. And with each small step you take, you'll feel your balance improve, your confidence grow, and your independence stay within reach. This is more than just a physical exercise. It's a gift that will help you reclaim the life you deserve, one step at a time. 8. More than just an exercise, a way to find peace. In a world that constantly demands more from us, we often forget the importance of taking a moment to simply be. The most profound gift yoga and Tai Chi offer isn't just physical transformation, but an incredible mental shift, one that can lead us to an overwhelming sense of peace. And it's so much more than just a workout. It's a journey of reconnecting with yourself. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 3 below to let me know that you are still here with me. For Susan, the weight of stress had become a constant companion. It wasn't just a passing thought. Stress was a shadow that followed her every single day. She was constantly consumed by worries about her health, about her uncertain future, and perhaps most of all, about being a burden to her family. These fears felt heavy, as though they were tied to her every step, shackling her to a life of anxiety. At night, when everything else was quiet, these worries would invade her thoughts, keeping her awake, making her mind race in endless circles. Sleep became a distant dream. But then something shifted. When Susan started practicing slow, mindful movement, through yoga and Tai Chi, everything began to change. The peace she once thought unreachable started to settle in. The physical movements weren't just about stretching or strengthening her body. They became a sanctuary for her mind. With each deep breath, each fluid movement, she began to feel lighter, not just in her body but in her heart. Yoga taught her how to breathe deeply, something that felt so simple but had been lost in the chaos of her life. She learned to release the tension that had been building for years, tension she didn't even realize was weighing her down so heavily. Tai Chi, with its graceful, controlled movements, gave her a sense of focus and calm that seeped into every other aspect of her life. For the first time in what felt like forever, Susan was truly present. She no longer felt trapped by the ghosts of her past, nor was she consumed by the fear of the future. She had found a way to simply exist in the now, and it was a feeling so liberating, so joyful, that she couldn't believe it had been waiting for her all along. Her practice became her safe space, a place where she could let go of all the worries that had once held her captive. And the most beautiful part? She knew that this sense of peace wasn't just a temporary moment, it was becoming a way of life. It's a transformation that's possible for you, too. Starting this journey doesn't require grand gestures or expensive memberships. It's about carving out time for yourself and permitting yourself to slow down. You don't need a fancy studio or pricey classes to begin. All you need is the willingness to give yourself those few precious moments to reconnect with your body and mind. Here's how you can begin today. Start small. Just 5 minutes. Stand tall and take a deep, calming breath. Let that breath fill your lungs and awaken your body. Slowly reach your arms overhead, stretching toward the sky. Let your body stretch, feel the release, and let go of any tension. Next, focus on the simple act of movement. Lift one foot just a little off the ground, and then gently lower it back down. This motion might feel small, but it's an incredibly powerful way to build balance, coordination, and control. It's not about being perfect, it's about being present. In each movement, in every breath, you're reclaiming a piece of peace for yourself. Finally, don't burden yourself with expectations. The goal isn't to be flawless or to master difficult poses. The goal is to show up, to move, to breathe, and to give yourself permission to feel good in the process. That's all. Just take that first step. Start with one simple moment, and feel the transformative power of peace wash over you. You deserve it. As we wrap up today's journey together, take a moment to reflect on what you've learned so far. How could slow, mindful movements like yoga and Tai Chi bring more peace and balance into your life? Have you realized the importance of being present, breathing deeply, and letting go of the tension that weighs you down? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Please take a moment to comment below and share one thing you've learned today and how you plan to bring it into your life. It could be as simple as taking a few minutes each day to move, breathe, and let go, or perhaps trying a new practice to reclaim peace. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave your comment below, and please like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Your support means so much, and we have more valuable content coming your way. Thank you for being part of this peaceful journey with us.